Hi, I'm Bob Trask, and this is our weekly reset. Thank you for being with me. And today we're going to talk about, I think, something that's pretty amazing. We're going to culminate our whole month of January talking about miracles on our one final step toward being able to create miracles from everyday life. It's going to be exciting. Just stay with us. Let's start, if we can, with the meditation, brief meditation, which I think will be wonderful way to open our hearts and our minds for the message for today. So if you just close your eyes, please, and relax, just relax. Get in a comfortable position, just being comfortable and breathing through your nose and allowing that breath to go into every cell of your body, every cell, awakening it and saying to it, you belong here. You're a part of this body, part of the harmony, part of the community of this body. You belong. We love you. Be well, be whole, be complete, be perfect. Every cell. And let that radiate out from those cells into all the tissues, the fats, the muscles, the bones, the ligaments, the tendons, the neurons, all of them, part of a great team, flexing together, working together, harmonizing together to keep you in perfect health. And to allow that beautiful body of yours to bring about the peace necessary for you to move beyond your body into the greater realm of mystery, which is life itself. And in that mystery, in that marvelous, beautiful sea of grace in which you find yourself drifting beautifully, carefully yet carelessly, totally trusting, completely relaxed, knowing that you are a perfect child of this universe, and no less than the trees, the stars, the mountains, the soaring eagle, the great blue whale, the little child somewhere on the other side of the planet, no less than any of those. You not only have a right to be here, but you have a purpose here. And today we're going to start working toward fulfilling that very purpose. So keep this open mind and open heart. Stay in this beautiful, peaceful place and come back to us. And let's begin. Thank you. Thank you. Well, all this month, we've been talking about miracles, and we've been looking at the different avenues of miracles and where those miracles are and how they happen. And we came to the agreement that in order to have a miracle, we first have to have a vision. In other words, how can we create a miracle if we don't know what we're trying to create, what we want, what we're after? We have to have a vision. And when we get the vision, then we can't just have that be a fantasy, can we? because that happens quite often. We think of visions, but they actually turn out to be fantasies. No more fantasies. And the reason or the way that we move from fantasy to reality is by intending for that to happen. We have to intend for it to be. Intend for it to be. So we have to have a vision and an intention. And then the second, what we talked about, the second level of that, when we have a vision and an intention, still doesn't create a miracle. We have to have a commitment. Commitment says, I'll stay the course. I not only have that vision now, I not only am intent on that vision right now, but it doesn't matter what happens. It doesn't matter how many people say you can't do it. It doesn't matter how much that little voice inside comes along and says, oh, no, you can't do this. You tried it before. Oh, you're not a miracle worker. Oh, you can't do it. It doesn't matter. And commitment means I'm going all the way. I'm going all the way. That's my commitment. And we're still not committing a miracle. We're still not creating a miracle. We have an intention, we have a vision, and we're committed. Miracle still isn't happening because we have to trust. See, we can't be flailing along on the edge of this thing like a tattered flag saying, God, I really want this to happen. I'm really focused on it happening. And I've got all this intention and commitment, but I don't know if it'll happen. I don't know if it can. No, 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 no. No, you got to trust, right? We have to trust that it will happen. Mary and I have a dear, sweet daughter who's an actress. I don't know how many auditions she's had. She was in New York. She had over 100 auditions for work on stage. God, the parts that she got, she was like, oh. And I don't say that because I'm her father. I can tell you, she blew the house down. She blew the house down. It was amazing. And yet, she still had to go. Every time when you're in that business, the minute that gig ends, you're unemployed again. You're back on the street. So it's like one gig after the other, but you have to keep auditioning. She's auditioned. She's now living in Los Angeles. She's an actress. She's working her butt off. She's auditioning, but she's trusting. She has an intention. She has a vision. She's committed and she's trusting. Because if you don't trust, you're going to give up. I can promise you, you're going to give up. Because the odds against you, when you're trying to do something that's truly miraculous, the odds against you are great. On this level, on this physical, intellectual level, the odds are great, too great. You have to be able to move beyond that level. You have to be able to move beyond that level into the metaphysical level, into the spiritual level, into the level that you were before you were born and you will be after you die. To the eternal you. You have to be willing to know that and move beyond and become part of that. And today we're going to move to the fourth. But let me talk first about Voltaire, perhaps the greatest philosopher and artistic genius of all time. Voltaire, look him up. Amazing dude. He said, all is a miracle. The stupendous order of nature, the revolution of 100 million worlds around millions of suns, the activity of light, the life of animals, and us of animals, all are grand and perpetual miracles. All are grand and perpetual miracles. So to begin with, can we just agree that we're a miracle, that you're a miracle, that I'm a miracle? Because if we can't agree on that, then we can't agree on what a miracle is. That if you exist, you no doubt take that you exist, you no doubt take that for granted. Of course you do. Of course you do. After all, when in your consciousness have you not existed? So you exist. Sure, you take that for granted. But that's a miracle in itself. That's a miracle in itself. You aren't just automatic. You didn't just automatically appear here in a body. You are an incarnation of the great sea of grace, of the great consciousness, of the great presence. And there's something really interesting about you that you can't deny. And it's this. Like there have been right now about 100 billion people here on this planet so far. And if we're really careful, which haven't been recently, but if we, the human race, start getting to be really careful, there's going to be trillions, trillions more living on this planet, living on other planets, living on space stations. And of the 100 billion of us so far and the trillions yet to come, there's never been nor ever will be another person with your exact face. Just think of it. This small space in front of your head, upon which there are two eyes, a nose, and a mouth. How many variations can there be? How many variations from that of that can there be? If we ask the best artist alive to draw 1,000 faces in that small face, in that small area, and make them each distinct, how hard would that be? Nearly impossible. I mean, perhaps he or she could make some of them be really grotesque in order and like comedic. But if they really did authentic faces, 1,000, each one distinct, that'd be nearly impossible. Yet in the trillions of us, none are the same. No same fingerprints, no same iris prints, no same neurological pathways, no same vision filters. You're not seeing the same thing I'm seeing. No same hearing filters. You're not hearing the same thing I'm hearing. None of them are the same. And yet, here's even a bigger miracle. Here's even a bigger miracle. We are at the foundation of ourselves very much the same. The same. Because we're each incarnations of the one consciousness. This great sea of wisdom, of power, of intelligence, this great presence. I'm talking about the beloved presence, the consciousness of life. I'm talking about the all. I guess that's the only real possible name for it. All. I mean, we can't name it. There's no way to name that. I mean, we can give it a name, but the problem with giving something like that a name, because it's so amazing. And see, nature, we can't name nature. We can say, well, nature's a bunch of stuff growing. No, it's not. Stuff's growing from nature. Stuff isn't nature. And we can say, well, it's God, and we can give it a name, and then the name confines it. It puts it in a box and it says, this is what it is. It isn't in a box. It isn't anything you can define because it's changing. It's moving all the time. It's growing. It's evolving. It's the fabric of life itself. And it's so exciting. And it's moving on and on and on. And it's growing. And you're part of it. I'm talking about the all there is in any form, in any time or space. The one, the sea of living, intelligent, creative grace that is cognizant. It's not just a thing out there, it's cognizant. It's wise. It's immaculate and humble and immaculate. You can look out at the universe. Mary showed me the other day a couple of pictures of nebulae that weren't that hadn't been seen before, or that I hadn't seen before. Oh my God. Oh my God. I mean, I love flowers. Flowers are so beautiful. But a nebula, oh my Lord. The colors, the textures, the folds, The it's like Kayla's paintings. They're just not believable. You just can't, you just can't, you just can't conceive of them. They're so incredible. And yet that great presence is humble. It's not grand. It's not, it doesn't need to be put on a throne, doesn't need to have a crown, doesn't need to have a staff, doesn't need to have people bowing and worshiping and crawling on their knees. It just is. God is, and we are becoming. It is, and we are becoming. And so how do we become? We become by being able to to be totally human, to be really good, powerful, healthy, wise humans, but to be able also to use our imagination to move beyond just our humanness and become a part of, really be a part of, which we already are, incidentally, we just aren't conscious of it, to be a part of the Great Spirit. Because that's you in your excellent self. It's alive in you as you, experiencing and expressing itself through your uniqueness, experiencing and expressing itself through your uniqueness. That's a miracle. And you are that miracle. And that miracle is love, and you are love. Oh gosh, you're love. And because of that great consciousness, which people must give a name to because otherwise they can't seem to grasp it, that great presence is life itself, creating physical manifestations of itself constantly, forever, without stop. And because you're its incarnation, because you are its sensory system, you're also a miracle worker. You can deny that, you can doubt it, but you can't change it. By your very nature, you're a worker of miracles. But you have to step beyond what you understand. You can't, if you have to understand it, you're done. The game's done. Because understanding is, in understanding, everything has to fit in a box. My wife, Mary, dear Mary, is right here. We have like Christmases for us like carnival. It's like it's like the most exciting thing in the world. We have like 5 or 6 Christmas trees, full Christmas trees. We have Santa Claus, we have villages, we have decorations, we have wreaths, oh my God, we have cookies. Oh, do we have cookies? I mean, our Christmas just goes on and on and on. See, now it's over. Now Mary, in the last week, has been putting away the Christmas stuff. It takes a week. So she has to take each one of those ornaments, which she loves so much, and wrap them in tissue, and they all are packed in boxes. And then all of those boxes of all the trees and all the ornaments go in a closet that's back underneath the stairs. And it's a huge job. So today she's putting everything back underneath the stairs. Now, when she puts all that stuff back in there and closes the door, you could call that understanding. Everything fits now in the box. And that's what we do with our brain. We have to understand. So we take everything that we know, everything that we've experienced, everything that we suspect, everything that we believe, and we put them all in a box and we say, I understand this. That's not right. Where did all that come from? None of it's made of material reality. You look around you, the room you're in, and you see walls and you see the computer and you see all that stuff. All of it's space. There's nothing matter. There's nothing material there. It's all space being, and the photons, the electrons, all of the subatomic particles are being held together in this form because of consciousness. But consciousness is what we're talking about today, not the form. Paulo Coelho said, you have to take risks. We only understand the miracle of life fully when we allow the unexpected to happen. Paulo Coelho, author of The Alchemist, great book. Read that book. Easy, fun book, great book. You have to take risks. We'll only understand the miracle of life fully when we allow the unexpected to happen. You have to be able to step beyond what you understand. You have to take risks. And you and I were taught self-doubt. We were taught that there was this God somewhere that we had to praise and worship and give homage to, and that we were nothing without him. And it was always him because it's supreme, and men have been thought to be more supreme than women. So God is always him. And when people talk about God, they still say, well, I was going to ask God for this, and that he does, and he did this, and he did that. What is this he stuff? We were taught that we were created by him to love him and serve him and suffer in this world so that we could be happy with him in the next. No, I want to be happy in this life with the Creator. But it's hard to get rid of those old concepts, isn't it? It is. So over these past 3 weeks, we've looked at the steps to becoming miracle workers. We've talked about intention, we've talked about commitment, we've talked about trust, and today we're talking about acceptance, because without acceptance, none of the rest of it works. See, see, things aren't the way we imagine them to be. Things aren't the way we want them to be. Things aren't the way we resist. Things are the way they are. And yes, I can create something greater than this, but I cannot create something greater than this until I'm one with this. I love to use this example. I'm walking across a trout stream. I'm a crazy ass fisherman. I love to fish. And if I come to a stream and I want to cross the stream, then I step on stones, step, 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 step across the stream, and I stay dry. Now I get in the middle of the stream and there's a rock in the middle of the stream and it's tilting like this. And I'm standing on this rock and it's tilting. And you know what? I'm not stepping beyond that because I don't have a solid platform to step from. I have to have a platform. Now I can sort of try to half-ass jump to the next, but I'm going to probably fall in the water. And we're not able to move beyond where we are right now into that ethereal, magical, mysterious, wonderful world of miracles. We can't move past here until we are established here, until we have here as a foundation. That's acceptance. It is the way it is. It is the way. It is the way it is. It is the way. And until I get grounded in that, I can't go beyond that. And when I'm in acceptance, then I go back to intention. And from my intention, I have a vision, and I'm committed to my vision, and I trust that it will come true. I trust that there's a great power in the universe, a great presence in the universe that's greater and farther beyond my little intellectual brain, and that I can trust that, and that I can move beyond where I am now. And I'm committed, and I'm intent, and I'm trusting, and I'm in acceptance. I'm in acceptance of all exactly the way it is. And from there, I can step off into the darkness and fly and bring the light with me. In Genesis, it says, in the beginning, all was darkness and void. And that's the truth for me and you. The future is darkness and void. Well, there's no future. Future doesn't exist. One instant from now, we could all blink off like light. We don't know. The future doesn't exist. But God said, let there be light. And if you say, let there be light, what you're saying is, I see a miracle. I see a reality beyond this reality. And the light shined in the darkness, and the darkness grasped it not. And you shine the light of your consciousness into that darkness of the future, and you create a reality that has never been before. You do that. You do that. The wonderful author, Julianne Peters, said, miracles don't happen, you make them happen. They're not wishes or candles on a birthday cake. They're not impossible. Reality is real. It's totally and completely under my control. It's completely and totally under your control. Now, the reason I spent so long at the beginning of this talk talking about the great presence, the great beloved presence, the one, and how I hold it in my heart and my mind as my own reality. And then I'm also able to see what it can be and what I can be, and what I can become, and being intent on the creation of something new, then I can create a miracle. But that miracle coming from me has to come from the essence of who I really am. Hear me, please. It has to come from the essence of who I really am, and who I am and what I am in the basic bottom line of who I am, whether I'm a prisoner in prison serving time for a murder or robbery, or whether I'm a pastor, or whether I'm a garbage collector, or whether I'm unemployed, or whether I'm a drug addict. Who I am is love. Bottom line, who I am is love. Marianne Williamson, God bless you, Marianne, make it all the way to the presidency, please, said, miracles occur naturally as expressions of love. The real miracle is the love that inspires them, the love that inspires miracles. In this sense, everything that comes from love is a miracle. And when we're breathing that presence of true love, and then trusting that things are unfolding exactly the way they should, only then can we take the final step into bringing our dreams into reality. Only then can we accept ourselves as true miracle workers. Around us are miracles of light and joy and love, and you've been creating your miracles your whole life. You just haven't paid attention. So pay attention and dare to step outside of your humanness into the great consciousness that you are. Only then will you be able to relax and play at life and smile in your heart and create everyday miracles every day. Thank you. Thank you. I so appreciate you being with me this week and every week. Will you do me a favor and ask friends to come and join us? Let's build our community. And also, if you will, go to my website, bobtrask.com, and go to the donate button and leave a few shekels, a few coins to help us keep this weekly reset going each week. Will you do that? Thank you. I so appreciate that. Now, if you need to run, I understand. Go, and I love you, and I'll see you next week. But if you can hang around for a little while, we're going to discuss miracles here for the next half hour. If you have to go, go with peace.